Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, we are opening the case file of Charity Beallis case, a deeply disturbing case that's still unfolding and that is in Bonanza, Arkansas, and the greater Fort Smith area. What investigators are calling a Bonanza, Arkansas triple homicide began with a welfare check discovery on December 3rd, 2025, when Charity Beallis and her 6-year-old twins were slain inside their homes. It is a deep story, to say the very least. This is now an Arkansas custody dispute murder investigation layered with unanswered questions about the timing, motive, and why items connected to the victims would be removed from the home and thrown away. This is brand new, and we're going to talk about all of this and a lot more on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me I've been whispered about and written off, judged by the gloss, not the cause. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my clothes, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
Ooh, what's wrong with my camera? 1 second, y'all. It's still not working. I don't know what the hell's wrong. Can y'all see me? Hopefully. Can y'all see me? A little bit, maybe, maybe not. Ecole. 1 second, guys. Boy, this happens when you're live. It's so sorry, guys. Let me do something here. You clean my cookies, I guess, maybe. Two-second, y'all. Okay, let's see if we can do it now. Are we good? Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is December 27th, 2025. It is currently 5:59 p.m. Hello, guys. I apologize for that. Little technical problems. It happens when you're live. Good to see you all. Really, really do appreciate you. Tonight, we are talking about the mansion triple homicide murders. And let me just tell you, it is crazy. A woman who has twins, right? Twin children. Her and the twins were found slain. We have covered this case recently. And let me just show you who Miss Charity Beallis is. Beautiful, beautiful lady. And her two twins gone forever. Gone forever. And we still have no answers. No answers. Right here. Right here's Charity Beallis and her 6-year-old twins who were robbed of their life. Crazy. I have it. I have it on my videos. That song, my intro song. So you can play it there as much as you like. Much as you like. It is very, very sad. Very, very sad. And there is new information that is in the news with the Charity Beallis case. And we're going to cover that this evening. Woo! Get ready, y'all, because it's a strange one. So Charity Beallis, she has twins. 1 second. She has twins, and they were found dead. The day prior, she had been getting a divorce. And the next day, she is dead. She's married to Dr. Beallis. And that being said, I want to stress that nobody has been named a suspect. in this case whatsoever at all. So his name is Randall Beallis. Let me pull up some things here. Guys, before we get started, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Would be so thankful if you would do so, and share the live out would be great as well. Okay. Okay. He's a medical doctor. Yeah. And they were in the middle of a custody battle and divorce. I'm trying to remember how long they were married for. That really hasn't been held. People, I don't really know how long they were married for at this point, but there was prior domestic abuse in this marriage. And that obviously questions things. Again, there has been no named suspects in this case. I want to stress that part. However, it is very interesting, in my opinion, at the very least. One day you're going to get a divorce, and the next day you're found deceased with 6-year-old twins. Now, yes, Ellen. Yes, Ellen. Dr. Bialis's first wife was found deceased as well. Now, this was ruled a self-inflicted at the time, and still is at this point, right? 2015. Thank you. Lori, appreciate that. Okay. Now, let me give you a little bit of the timeline on this, okay? So in early 2025, just a little background context to the prior DV. In early 2025, Charity Beallis reported a DV incident involving her estranged husband, Randall Beallis. Court records show he was arrested and later convicted in connection with that case. Again, separate from what's going on now. This becomes an important context because it is separate, obviously, from the homicide investigation, but I still think we need to take note of that because it's very interesting when you're married and there's DV going on, and also when the day after your divorce is supposed to be nearly final, and that's a key word, nearly final. December 2nd, 2025 was the final court hearing. And on December 2nd, 2025, Charity Beallis attended what was reported to be the final divorce hearing at the Sebastian County Courthouse in Arkansas. Reporting indicated that the joint custody of the twins was granted at the hearing. Okay. The next day, December 3rd, 2025, there's a welfare check requested, right? The following day, December 3rd, 2025, someone close to the family requested a welfare check at Charity's home in Bonanza near Fort Smith. We got any Arkansas folks in here? Any Arkansas folks? Okay. December 3rd, 2025, same day. After that welfare check, they go in and they discover the bodies. Responding officers entered the home and discovered Charity Beallis and, sadly, her 6-year-old twins deceased inside the residence. Authorities confirmed all three died of pew-pew wounds. And it is then that it is classified as a triple homicide. Welcome back, Crazy Buck 25. Oh, we got a bunch of Arkansas people in here. One of my best school friends, she works for the FBI in Arkansas. Yeah. Just similar to the Drew Peterson case with his second wife and third wife, in my opinion. Yep. December 3rd, again, the day that the call came in for the wellness check, and they discovered to the 6th is an active investigation going on naturally, right? So they issue search warrants and interviews. In the days immediately following the discovery, investigators from the Sebastian County Sheriff's Office and Arkansas State Police began executing search warrants and conducting interviews. No suspect has been publicly named. Around December 6th, there is a dumpster discovery. And we're just now getting a little bit of information about that. And that's what we're going to get into in this live stream. Belongings found miles away. Several days after the murders, a woman searching through a dumpster in Fort Smith area discovered a trash bag filled with personal belongings connected to the victims, including jewelry, documents, family photos, and children's items. The dumpster was located approximately 10 miles from the murder scene. Okay. Why would someone take this? Right? You could say, well, that, it could have been a robbery gone wrong, right? Of course. But not so fast. Why are they taking and throwing jewelry away? I understand photos. Oh, I don't understand why they would collect photos to begin with of the family. Right? But let's just say, for the sake of argument, you could understand them throwing away photos, but not jewelry. Jewelry is of high value, right? We are talking about a doctor's wife. They live in a mansion, big farmland, all of that, right? So let's get into a little bit of that. Whoops. 1 second here. Here we go. We're going to give credit to nwahomepage.com. nwahomepage.com. Let me nwahomepage.com. Okay, here we go. Guys, do me a favor, if you haven't yet, hit that thumbs up button.
From the very person who made the discovery, pictures of Charity Beallis and her children and other personal items found in a dumpster just days after their bodies were found shot to death in the River Valley. Thanks for joining us here at 6 o'clock. I'm Doug Warner. Tonight, that case, now 3 weeks old, remains unsolved. We've heard very little from investigators, joined now by KNWA's Dylan Nooner. This unexpected find has created even more questions, and it's left a young lady in the River Valley emotionally shook.
Yeah, Doug, this woman who wants to remain anonymous.
Yes, if Kat had them.
When she first started going through these items she found in that large black trash bag, she immediately knew something wasn't right.
One man's trash is another man's treasure.
This River Valley woman says
Dr. Beallis was a general practitioner.
She made good money from this hobby, sifting through trash thrown in dumpsters all over the Fort Smith area.
This, that, I mean, literally everything you see in this area
Has been a good source of income for over a year now.
There's a specific dumpster not far from my home.
But what she found in a dumpster outside of the reserve at Chaffee Crossing apartment complex was unlike anything she's ever discovered before.
As soon as I opened the bag and pulled out the first canvas, I immediately knew something wasn't right.
A trash bag full of personal items appearing to belong to Charity Beallis. Found just
Yeah, that's the only thing about, I guess, these people who like dumpster dive and treasure hunt. You never know what you're going to find, if you know what I mean. Like, that could be really a scary thing because, as you and I know, there are many people that are thrown in a dumpster and never recovered. But it's also a good thing that people like this are going through those dumpsters that treasure hunt because they find things all the time.
3 days after the Sebastian County mother and her 2 young children were found shot to death.
I'm still shocked about it.
Now, almost 3 weeks since its discovery in this Fort Smith dumpster, she's still visibly shaken at what she says was left inside a large black trash bag.
There was a 4-page handwritten letter, and then there was also a receipt with Charity's name on it.
Okay. So here we go. We have photos of what appears to be Dr. Beallis and Charity, and then Charity with her kids, and then a receipt. Looks like it says patient packing with her name on it.
I found 2 crosses. One had a little girl on it, one had a little boy on it, and on the back of it said Jerusalem.
She says photos of Charity and her kids, along with a photo of her with her ex-husband Randall Beallis, and a canvas of him were also in the trash bag. She says she immediately contacted Fort Smith police.
2 detectives ended up showing up after the Fort Smith police officer did, and they got a box and put the belongings in a box. I then drove them down here and showed them that trash can.
It wasn't until the next day she says she noticed one item still in her car. A necklace she later confirmed with Charity's oldest son, John, belonged to Charity.
Speaking with John, her best friend had given her that necklace not long before it had happened.
And one thing she saw today on the very dumpster she climbed into earlier this month, she feels is a clear sign to her those items were meant to be found.
It's just kind of, I just think that it was meant for me to find and meant for me to report and stuff. So I hope and I pray for John and his family every night.
We reached out to the Sebastian County Sheriff's Office yesterday regarding the trash bag and items found. They told us they can neither confirm nor deny if that did in fact happen. Of course, we'll keep you updated.
Well, that says all you need to know then.
More details around this case. In studio, Dylan Nooner, KWA Northwest Arkansas News.
Right. So very, very interesting. Let me see here.
Back some local preschool.
Wait, is this the same one? Bear with me 1 second. Bear with me 1 second, y'all. Guys, if you're just joining us, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Would greatly, greatly appreciate that very much. Okay. Yeah. So why are people going to be throwing this out? That's really the question in this. Jewelry, again, you're not going to throw out, and it's got to be. Let me see this. Okay, we watched that one. Okay, just making sure. Hey, Josie, good to see you, my friend. I just got here, but sounds like a very sad case. Yeah, Ash, this is a mother who was married to a doctor, and they were getting a divorce. And the day before, or the day after, the divorce was pretty much granted, except everything wasn't signed yet. The next day, she and the twins her 6-year-old twins are found dead inside the home. So it's just crazy. It's crazy. Now, there was an issue with the remains, right? Who's going to take the remains? Because technically, she's not divorced. Technically, she's not divorced. So who is going to get the remains of Charity and the 6-year-old twins? Well, there was kind of an issue with that because Charity has an older son and he wanted to bury his mother and his siblings, 6-year-old siblings, which just sounds insane to say. And there was a battle for that. Dr. Beallis wanted Charity and the twins. So a judge later ruled on the custody for the bodies for burial purposes, a procedural family court action. Charity's adult son was granted custody of her remains, while Randall Beallis, doctor, was granted custody of the children's remains. This ruling is not any sort of criminal determination, though. So, the son, he wanted, to bury them all together, and we're going to get to that here shortly. December 6th and 7th, also, the items were turned, there was evidence collected in the house. The woman, not the dumpster, rather, the woman who contacted the police immediately, investigators recovered the items and added them to the homicide investigation. Authority have not stated, as you heard just a moment ago, whether the items are considered direct evidence or how they're related to the crime. Today, an investigation is still ongoing, and as of now, no arrests have been announced, no suspect has been publicly named, and investigators have released limited details. The case remains active. Okay, so let me show you this. Let me show you the things that was found in. These are what was actually found in the dumpster. Oh, thank you, Miss Joanne. Thank you, darling. Appreciate your support. Really do appreciate that very much, my love. Did you have a good Christmas? Hope you did. Thank you, love. I can't believe it's almost 2026, y'all. Yep. Did this doctor have another dead wife? Yes, he did. Happy Cappy. Sure did. He, his first wife, allegedly, died by self-inflicted, injury, shall we say? Yeah. So, I would say it's a rarity to have one wife to allegedly unalive herself and then another wife to be gunned down with her 6-year-old twins, if you ask me, but that's just my personal opinion. This is one of the photos that was found in the trash. Here is another of, I guess, Charity and one of the kiddos. It takes a particularly, you're right, Linda. You're absolutely right. I said that the last time. I always get it mixed. Actually, his first wife is alive. Linda is absolutely correct. And his second wife is the one who died by allegedly self-inflicted. And then third wife is, of course, Charity. It takes a particularly brazen, cold person to unalive anyone, much less kids, twins, right? Much less that. Can you imagine? Goodness gracious. Look at this. Um, it's got one of the kids' paintings and it says like 20 cents and it's got a dollar sign and I think it says one of the kids' name. And this is like a task for the chores of the kids, right? Clean up the toys in the living room, and she puts a star beside of it. $7 a week or $1 a day. Good mother, good mother. And this was also found in a trash. This looks to me like one of those canvas photos. You know what I mean? Canvas photos. This appears to be Dr. Beallis. Again, police has not confirmed that, however. Here we go again. This was also found in the dumpster, and this appears to be Charity and, again, Dr. Beallis. Again, law enforcement has not confirmed any of this to be related to the case or even that it exists. Okay, here is the packing slip, and you've got Charity Beallis, her address, Fort Smith, Arkansas, patient Charity Beallis, battery EMSI 4-pack, AAA flex, electrodes 4-pack, 0.75 times 1.75. The date is November 6th, almost a month. This was printed out before she had been deceased. Again, this appears to be Charity Beallis with her son at the beach, living their life like they should be. This appears to be a ring or a necklace as well. They better check his second one too, because yeah. Hello, Gypsy. Did you have a good Christmas? Kelly, good to see you, dears. Nancy, Tina, Brandy, Sherry, Andrea, Debbie, Allison. Hope those poor babies had no time to witness or realize, oh my God, I know. I can't even think of it. And then this appears to be, in my opinion, because I'm going to show you Charity's oldest son, because he has spoken out advocating for his mother's death investigation and his siblings, his 6-year-old twin siblings investigation. This appears to be him when he was younger. And that appears to be the package as well. This is the necklace that was given by a friend to Charity just not long before she was unalived, and it says all 3 of her children's names. And then, wow, a picture of what we would appear to be Jesus with a young girl. No problem, darling. Hey, Lolo, good to see you, honey. I hope the staff are aware of the doctor's reputation. Absolutely. I also have, which is not uncommon, I want to make it clear, but I've went and I've checked on his malpractice, if there's any claims and all that, which it's not uncommon for a doctor to have malpractice uh, claims. But he does have some cases as well. And again, we're back to that. Okay. So let me go ahead and show you this. According to medical board directors. And speaking of that, we're going to kind of talk about what we know about with the medical board of directors and the malpractice kind of stuff as well here. Credit goes to THV11. THV11. Let me give them the credit that they are deserving of course. THV11.com. All right, guys. Here we go. Maybe if I would turn the volume on, that would help, right?
Before the Arkansas State Medical Board 2 months before pleading guilty for third-degree domestic battery. There's an ongoing investigation into the shooting deaths of his twin children and estranged wife, Charity Beallis. Dr. Beallis has not been named a suspect or person of interest in this case that is sparking.
Now, this is their home. This was the home that Charity and the children were living at.
Or person of interest in this case that is sparking attention nationwide. Newly obtained documents show the Arkansas State Police Crimes Against Children Unit received an allegation of child maltreatment in July that accused Dr. Beallis, suggesting his name be put in the Child Maltreatment Central Registry. We also obtained files containing complaints from concerned citizens and others giving him praise. During an August State Medical Board hearing, Beallis addressed the board about the domestic abuse he later pled guilty to.
Now, for those of you that don't know, oh, there's an echo? Okay, I'll fix that. For those of you that don't know, your reputation, what you do outside of your practice has implications upon your practice of being a doctor, of being licensed. If you have any sort of criminal things that comes up, you can have your license suspended that you went to college for, in many cases for over a decade, right? That goes with any sort of being any sort of nurse, doctor, there's many jobs, flight attendant, or yeah, that too, but a pilot, all of that. Now, it doesn't mean you're 100% going to get your license taken away, but it can, and it does happen. It does happen, especially if there is multiple times, right? Okay, fix this so there's not an echo.
2 months before pleading guilty for third-degree domestic battery. There's an ongoing investigation into the shooting deaths of his twin children and estranged wife, Charity Beallis. Dr. Beallis has not been named a suspect or person of interest in this case that is sparking attention nationwide. Newly obtained documents show the Arkansas State Police Crimes Against Children Unit received an allegation of child maltreatment in July that accused Dr. Beallis, suggesting his name be put in the Child Maltreatment Central Registry. We also obtained files containing complaints from concerned citizens and others giving him praise. During an August State Medical Board hearing, Beallis addressed the board about the domestic abuse he later pled guilty to.
Well, I do want to be forthright with you. And
so this is Dr. Beallis speaking right here.
On Saturday, I received a certified letter from the Arkansas State Police that had the finding that of abuse with or without physical injury to both children. We are going to appeal that based
Strike that. I believe that's Dr. Beallis's attorney. I apologize.
on the children's statement that my mommy told me to say this, otherwise I would get in trouble. And that was witnessed by the first investigating officers.
I want to just play that again.
We are going to appeal.
Praise domestic abuse. Medical board hearing. Beallis addressed the board about the domestic abuse he later pled guilty to.
Well, I do want to be forthright with you. And on Saturday, I received a certified letter from the Arkansas State Police that had the finding that of abuse with or without physical injury to both children. We are going to appeal that based on the children's statement that my mommy told me to say this, otherwise I would get in trouble. And that was witnessed by the first investigating officers.
Now, the board tabled any discussions after Dr. Beallis made that statement and has not taken action. Again, this all unfolded in August. Right now, there's no update regarding Charity or her children's deaths.
Okay. So there we have that. Dr. Beallis was licensed medical professional in Florida starting in July of 1996 and in Illinois starting in June of 1998. Records in the case file for both states indicate he was never disciplined by their respective medical board. When Beallis applied for a medical license in Arkansas in March of 2008, multiple medical professionals who had worked with him previously said he was well qualified to practice in the state. Quote, in my association with him, I have always found him to be a conscientious physician who showed significant empathy toward his patients and always took good care of them, end quote. One reference letter said, quote, Dr. Beallis has exhibited high standards of ethics and morality, end quote, another reference said. Prescribing narcotics to his wife in 2018. The doctor's first run-in with the medical board after his leisure, according to his records, was in June 2018 when the Mercury Hospital in Fort Smith reported he had prescribed his wife Schedule II narcotics after a surgery. Dr. Beallis sent a letter to medical boards members apologizing for the infraction and promising never to do it again. Quote, this was inappropriate and I regret not asking the surgeon to write the prescription. I assure you that this medicine was used appropriately. I am fully engaged in curating the opioid scourge and counsel patients daily to the subject. I apologize for my poor decision, end quote, Dr. Beallis. While patients named in the file are redacted, court records reflect that Charity was his wife at the time. The medical board wrote back in April of 2018 explaining they voted to accept the documentation of the incident for, quote, information only, end quote, to be kept in Dr. Beallis's file should it need to be referenced in the future. Criminal mischief allegation in 2020, Dr. Beallis next came up in February of 2021, meeting of the medical board for a separate complaint accompanied by the report from Bonanza police and detailed accusations of aggravated assault and endangering the welfare of a minor. The report said that in May 2020, officers responded to Beallis's residence after reports that Charity and Randall had slashed the tires of 17-year-old John Powell. Now, we're going to talk about that in just a second. So, John Powell is Charity's son, oldest son from a different marriage or from a different relationship. I don't know if they were married or not. Now, I'm going to show you the actual video of them slashing the tires. Okay. Quote, for confirmation, I asked both Mr. and Mrs. Beallis if they had slashed the tires of both Mr. and Mrs. Beallis indicated that they had, end quote. An officer wrote in the report explaining that the action was a result of an argument with Mr. Powell. According to the report, Powell spoke to the police and examined that his mom had grabbed a knife, walking over to him and demanded his phone. During this, he claimed his mom and had pulled a pew-pew on Dr. Beallis before. Powell explained to police that during this, as the Beallises held a knife to slash his tires, they were holding their infant twins, according to the police report. The police report said Bonanza Police Chief Mark Barber became involved, and the decision was made to contact the Department of Human Services and to call the child abuse hotline. Quote, I told DHS caseworker that I had concerns over the video and that I had seen with both parents holding a 1-year-old in their arm and swinging a knife in the other, end quote, the officer said in the report. Medical board documents indicated that Dr. Beallis pleaded no contest to the misdemeanor criminal mischief, receiving a 1-year suspended sentence and ordered to attend 6 months of anger management classes. Dr. Beallis appeared at the April 2021 board meeting, and again, the state board voted to accept the information for his file and take no disciplinary actions. There was abuse allegations in 2025 when Dr. Beallis again became the topic of the board conversation in 2025 when Charity emailed the board in February and claimed he had attacked her in front of their kids. She wrote, quote, we are traumatized, in part, that is, quote, we are traumatized. You guys need to know about this, end quote, Charity said. Dr. Beallis wrote a letter to the medical board in February of this year, 2025, responding to Charity's claims. He alleged that his wife was not allowed him to see her phone, and that he, quote, made the mistake of taking her phone out of her hand, end quote. Quote, she went into a rage and started swinging and hitting me, end quote, Dr. Beallis said. Quote, I was being blocked in the bathroom and had no other choice but to use some physical force to get out. I never squeezed her neck nor choked her at any time, end quote. Dr. Beallis said he saw on her phone that she was was talking to her father, Randy Powell, about getting a divorce. In the police report of the incident, Dr. Beallis told officers that he, quote, pushed her up against the wall and shoved her into the sink before she ran out, end quote. Dr. Beallis stated he ran after her and caught her when he took her cell phone from her, end quote, the report said. Dr. Beallis was eventually arrested and charged with felony aggravated assault and a misdemeanor counts of domestic battering and endangering the welfare of minors. Proceedings in both the newest criminal cases and his most recent divorce case began in March of this year, 2025. Charity emailed the board again in April of 2025, explaining that she and her children had, quote, extensive interviews, end quote, at a nearby advocacy center. quote, the Arkansas State Police Crimes Against Children Division informed me that they will be notifying Mercy Rehab in Chaffee that Randall Bialis now had pending child abuse charges, end quote, Charity said. Dr. Bialis appeared in person before the board for its August 7th meeting addressing the allegations against him. He claimed his twin 6-year-olds were instructed by Charity to tell police false abuse claims. After the meeting of the medical board on August 7th, during which members voted to the table issue pending the outcome of Dr. Bialis's ongoing abuse case in Sebastian County, the board received a letter from a quote concerned member of the public, end quote, about the doctor's behavior. Quote, it is my sincere hope that this board will take appropriate and decisive action to protect the public, especially vulnerable children, when evaluating this continued license of Dr. Randy Bialis, end quote, the letter said. Accompanying the letter was a report from Arkansas State Police Crimes Against Children Division, which recommended Dr. Bialis placed on a child maltreatment central registry following the March 2025 abuse case. On August 14th, another anonymous submission requested a disciplinary review of Dr. Bialis, citing child abuse concerns that one of his previous wives, quote, died by apparent SUICIDE, self inflicted unaliving, I'll say, under circumstances some believe were suspicious. Now, think about that for a moment, y'all. Do you think this could piss someone off? Someone writing into the medical board saying, oh, yeah, he's abusing kids. Oh, yeah, I'm a concerned citizen. Look at his past wife. Right? That could certainly piss someone off. Now, okay. On August 14th, another submission requested a disciplinary review of Dr. Bialis, citing child abuse concerns and that one of his previous wives, quote, died by apparent self-inflicted under circumstances some believe were suspicious, end quote. Multiple reports accompanied this submission detailing allegations of abuse involving Charity and her other 2 children between July 2024 and February 2025. Dr. Bialis responded to the one of the submissions, claiming that the allegations they contained had, quote, no basis in reality, end quote. Quote, I hold the responsibilities of my professions with the highest seriousness, and I remain committed to upholding both the standard of medical practice and the trust of the community I serve, end quote, Dr. Bialis said in part. An Arkansas Health Department spokesperson confirmed to 5 News that Dr. Bialis was discussed at the medical board in October 2025 meeting, and the matter was and the matter was tabled again. Dr. Bialis pleaded guilty to misdemeanor domestic battery, less than a week later, receiving a 1-year suspended sentence. Officials say the matter was not scheduled for discussion for any upcoming medical board meetings. State records say that his medical license is active and expires in February of 2027. 5 News reached out to Dr. Bialis' attorney for the response to the medical board file and was and with the accusations of within the December 18th, the following day, his legal counsel sent us a scanned chapter of Charity's book, A Lifetime of Miracles. What? That is weird as fuck. That is crazy. Okay. So Channel 5 reaches out to Dr. Beallis' attorney for a response to the medical board file and the accusations within on December 18th. The following day, his legal counsel sent us a scanned chapter of Charity's book, A Lifetime of Miracles. Y'all. That is very weird. Oh, yeah, Kim, absolutely. Is anyone else buffering? I am. Great. Yes, Charity had written a book. Okay. Yeah, Ash, exactly. Now, listen to this part. Listen to this. Cray. The chapter and the accompanying information from Dr. Beallis' lawyer didn't address the information in the medical board documents. However, it did detail a decade-old incident in which Charity claimed she pulled a pew-pew on her husband. Quote, the lie was that I had assaulted my husband with a firearm in self-defense, end quote, Charity wrote. The truth is, I did it because that's what I had seen grown-ups as the best way to control people with fear, end quote. Charity wrote in the book published in February 2019 that she regrets making Dr. Beallis look like a woman abuser. The Sebastian County Sheriff's Office was reported that the investigation into the deaths of Charity and her two children is still ongoing, with multiple law enforcement agencies on local, state, and federal levels all involved in the case. An official suspect of the case has not been named. Okay. Here we go. That's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. It's, yeah, still no arrest. Still no arrest. It's crazy. And I don't know. I mean, I do think there will be an arrest on this.
New court documents and Dr.
when?
Randall Beallis. 5 News reporter Bo Russell joining us to talk about what we know so far and what's new today. Bo?
Hey, Morgan. Well, there's been no shortage of tips, comments, and calls we've received while looking into this case. There's a lot floating out around there. So tonight, I'm going to break down the facts as we know them and what we're still digging into. On the morning of December 3rd, Charity Beallis and her twin 6-year-old children were found dead with gunshot wounds inside their Bonanza home. As of December 9th, the sheriff's office describes this case as an active, ongoing death investigation. Detectives say 12 search warrants are in process, with 6 already served, and that they have conducted numerous interviews and received a large number of tips. The release lists multiple agencies working the case, including the United States Secret Service and Homeland Security. That same day, December 9th, Charity's adult son, John Randall Powell, filed an amended motion in her pending
Lord have mercy. Hold on.
Documents were filed this.
What did it do?
home. As of December 9th, the sheriff's office describes this case as an active, ongoing death investigation. Detectives say 12 search warrants are in process, with 6 already served, and that they have conducted numerous interviews and received a large number of tips. The release lists multiple agencies working the case, including the United States Secret Service and Homeland Security. That same day, December 9th, Charity's adult son, John Randall Powell, filed an amended motion in her pending divorce case in Sebastian County Circuit Court. In that motion, he asked to intervene in the divorce between Charity Beallis and Dr. Randall Beallis to set aside an order dismissing the divorce. Today, Dr. Beallis filed a response to that motion. In it, Beallis argues that under Arkansas state law, a divorce isn't finalized until all divorce paperwork has been submitted. Charity died before any of that paperwork was submitted, meaning the divorce never got finalized.
Charity's faith was very prominent to her. You'll hear her son say here shortly, and you can see the cross behind her. Really just a tragedy, man.
Charity died before any of that paperwork was submitted, meaning the divorce never got finalized. Also filed today, a letter from Judge Shannon Blatt saying that Randy Powell, Charity's father, called the court clerk on December 3rd and said the judge, quote, might as well have pulled the trigger herself. Randy Powell denies making that statement. So Morgan, that's about all the information we have right now that's verifiable and reportable.
And Bo, there's a lot of interest in this case and maybe some other incidents that could possibly be related.
Right. Well, you know, as I said at the top, there's a lot floating around out there. And I think it's important to say to our viewers, we're on top of this. We're seeing everything being shared online and more. We've been speaking with investigators, family members, even state legislators. We've seen.
Guys, I am having some technical trouble today, guys. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to do my... Good Lord. I'm having technical trouble today, y'all. Lord have mercy. Okay. We're getting it, though. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. Okay. Guys, what you're going to hear is just heartbreaking. This young man is now really the only one left in his family.
Loved her children and loved her as a good Christian woman that loved her children and loved her family and friends more than anything. But she always put God first. And I'm grateful for that because I know where she is now in heaven.
Sebastian County investigators say Charity Powell Beallis and her 2 6-year-old twins were found shot to death inside their Bonanza home on December 3rd. So far, no suspects have been publicly named, and no one has been charged in their killings. John says that uncertainty has left him looking over his shoulder.
So yeah, I'm still fearful for my life as well as a few other people. I'm not going to name them for safety reasons, but
this young man, hey Kelly, this young man is in fear for his life. He's like barely out of a teenager, I think, now. He favors his mom, a handsome young man. Yes, yeah, he does.
They're scared as well.
Court records show John has now gone to court himself, asking a judge to reinstate his mother's divorce case. 5 News shared last week Randy Beallis filed to dismiss the divorce case after Charity's death. Powell says he's leaning on his own attorneys to help navigate that fight.
My legal team has began to help me fight for my mother's justice and this divorce case and stuff. I really can't disclose a lot of information, but my legal team is working on it.
He says the most urgent battle is over, where his mother's body will be laid to rest.
Yeah, that's our top priority right now, is to be able to put my mother to rest like she deserves, instead of letting someone else get her body and do whatever they want with it.
Yeah. Again, I want to say that there's been no suspect's name But let's say for theoretical reasons, not accusing anyone in this case, but let's say, for instance, a father guns down his wife, or almost ex-wife, the day after their divorce was finalized, but things weren't all the way done, and his 2 kids, right? And then he gets the rights to bury those 2 kids that he perhaps could have unalived, or perhaps paid someone to do it. That is a really sick, twisted, and how in theoretics here would also wanted to bury his nearly ex-wife as well. Yes. Yeah, Trishy. He's doing a great job for his mother. I think there is an insurance policy. Let me check. Okay, no. Okay, so there's no confirmed life insurance policy. Okay, I don't think so. Let me see here. Okay. If you look at, let me look here. I want to make sure. According to Google AI, which can make mistakes, Charity Beallis reportedly had a life insurance policy or policies that named her husband, Randall Beallis. I'm just going to show you this, as the beneficiary. Following her death and the death of her twin children, a legal battle emerged over whether Randall Beallis could collect these funds and inherit from her estate, a scenario which hinges on the application of the Arkansas Slayer statute. Interesting. Again, do your own research on that part, because that's AI. So I don't think he really did butterfly. I mean, I think it's, in my opinion, it's very suspicious. Maybe you're being sarcastic, I don't know. But very suspicious that the next day, not only is your wife dead, but your 2 kids? No way. No way. Credit goes to 5 News Online.
But she always put God first. And I'm grateful for that, because I know where she is now, in heaven.
Sebastian County investigators say Charity Beallis and her 2 6-year-old twins were found shot to death inside their Bonanza home on
That's her
December
father.
3rd. So far, no suspects have been publicly named, and no one has been charged in their killings. John says that uncertainty has left him looking over his shoulder.
So yeah, I'm still fearful for my life, as well as a few other people. I'm not going to name them for safety reasons, but they're scared as well.
Court records show John has now gone to court himself, asking a judge to reinstate his mother's divorce case. 5 News shared last week Randy Beallis filed to dismiss the divorce case after Charity's death. Powell says he's leaning on his own attorneys to help navigate that fight.
My legal team has began to help me fight for my mother's justice and this divorce case and stuff. I really can't disclose a lot of information, but my legal team is working on it.
He says the most urgent battle is over, where his mother's body will be laid to rest.
Yeah, that's our top priority right now, is to be able to put my mother to rest like she deserves, instead of letting someone else get her body and do whatever they want with it. That's our main goal right now.
The Sebastian County Sheriff's Office says it's now working with Arkansas State Police and other local agencies, as well as federal partners like Homeland Security, to piece together what happened. John says knowing federal agents are involved gives him some comfort.
A lot of hope. I'm glad they have looked into it and are taking the time to pursue this case and bring justice for what has happened. I'm very, very grateful.
While investigators continue to execute search warrants and gather evidence, John says he just wants justice for his mother and little siblings. In Sebastian County, I'm Bo Russell, 5 News.
Okay, now I want to show you, credit goes to nwahomepage.com. Link is provided in the description as well. The Charity's father, who has been an outspoken family member rather, on this case as well. That was in nwahomepage.com. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Look at this.
It's been 2 days since tragedy struck the Powell family.
If I could, I'd give my mother a big hug and look at her in the eyes and tell her I loved her. Hold my baby brother and sister one more time, like I did.
This is 2 days after they were found. I cannot imagine this family's anguish and grief of something so tragic, so senseless. She is beautiful. He's a handsome young man himself.
The first day that he's born, tell him I loved him. I'll do anything I can to protect him.
All that's left is the idea of what
He's also incredibly mature for his age as well. God bless him. My heart just breaks for this family.
should have been.
I would just love to hold my daughter and my grandchildren in my arms again and verify my love for them the way they loved me.
40-year-old Charity Powell and her 6-year-old twins were found shot to death in her home Wednesday morning, just 1 day after Charity's final divorce hearing.
She shot through the chest and then in the head.
And them babies are shot through the chest. That means one of them babies had to watch the other one, or however it went down.
Or maybe they watched their mother die, and then one of them.
Do you hear that? Did you hear what he said?
Six-year-old twins were found shot to death in her home Wednesday morning, just 1 day after Charity's final divorce hearing.
She shot through the chest and then in the head.
And them babies are shot through the chest. That means one of them babies had to watch the other one, or however it went down.
Or maybe they watched their mother die, and then one of them got to watch the other one die.
John and Rand.
6-year-old twins. 6-year-old twins allegedly all pretty much found together This is the case of her older son trying to get justice for his mom and stepsister and stepson. Uh, this is Charity's oldest son, and he's trying to get justice for his mother and his twin 6-year-old siblings.
Powell say despite the Sebastian County Sheriff's Office not releasing any details, nor whether there is even a suspect in the triple homicide, there's no doubt in their mind who pulled the trigger.
Randall Beallis. He's a powerful and evil man. All he cares about is money and himself.
There was nobody else in the world that had any reason.
And look, he just said the name. He just said the name right there. The quote is, Randy Beallis, he says, quote, Randy Beallis, he's a powerful and evil man, end quote. And he continues and he says, all he cares about is money, end quote.
And himself.
There was nobody else in the world that had any reason to harm her or those babies but him. And that was only for financial gain and for the hatred that he had.
Court documents reveal
the father of Charity says he's the only one that, in his opinion, that would want her dead. Now, this is a photo of Randy Beallis from the past when the DV was going on. This is not related to anything right now related to the murders of his soon-to-be ex-wife and children.
The violent, intense months leading up to the divorce between Charity and her then-husband, Randall Beallis. Charity was a victim of domestic violence at the hands of Randall. He pled guilty to a charge in October. Charity had also filed for custody of the two twins, as well as an order of protection. The day after they were found dead, Randall filed for the divorce to be dismissed, a deal the Powells say would have benefited Charity.
Looper Auction was supposed to sell the house within 60 days, and she got her new BMW, $10,000, and half the earnings that the property bought, which he would go to him. With her dead, now he gets to keep that, plus her insurance he had on her, her life insurance that he had on her. He's the only one that had anything.
That's right. That's right. So because the divorce did not go through 100%, he is still technically married to Charity. And like the father just said, they had to sell the house within 60 days. And she had just got a new BMW and all of that. And after the murders, 2 days later, he requested that there not be a divorce now, which means everything would go to him. If that hadn't have been the case, then everything would have went to John, Charity's son.
John Powell, sitting at the left of that kitchen table, was Charity's son, a half-brother to the twins.
Charity was my mother that loved me. I know she did. She had a heart for them babies. She was a good Christian woman that was baptized a few months ago. Them kids was precious, real precious. They were innocent.
Sitting to the right, her father. Together, they're the only two Powells left.
One moment I'll be crying, and the next minute I'm mad, and I don't even know how to explain it. I never expected to ever have to go through something like this in my life.
They say up until the three were found dead, Charity did everything.
You don't hear the audio? Do you have audio? Okay. Y'all can hear it? Okay. Just want to make sure.
She could to survive.
My mother fought for 9 months, the last 9 months, to save her life and the babies. Nothing happened. Now all 3 of them's dead. She would have fought tooth and nail, which is why she may have been shot twice, to protect them babies. I know she went out with a fight.
I promise you.
Now, all they can do is fight for justice and try to protect themselves.
Well, I'm scared to death for my life at this point.
Okay. Thank you again for nwahomepage.com for that. They are the only 2 left. The only 2 left, which is really, really sad, isn't it? I'm going to show you the property of the Bonanza estate. Perhaps if my computer will work. I don't know what's going on today. Okay, maybe. Okay. This is close to the it's almost, I think it's on the border of, yeah, it's in Arkansas, but it's really, really close to the border of Oklahoma. See, like here's Arkansas, Oklahoma. See how close it is? Arkansas, Oklahoma. And this is the estate that she lived at. She was, and the children were murdered as well. Let me see here. Yeah. And they owned like a lot of property. They owned all of this over here. I think I can do it. I think I've shown in the house before. 1 second. Let me pull this up. Okay. Let me show you this. Has he been called in for questioning? Yes, he sure has. The house looks really big from the outside. It's not as big as you would think, though. See a picture here of the home and the deer. This is when it was. This is, I guess, sometimes in the winter or late fall. And again, they owned all of this. I think it's 20 some acres. It's like a barn there. Like a den area. I like the concrete floors. There's a video. Yep, I can show you. Okay, Linda, thank you. You sent me a text, Linda? Oh, hold on. They just all came in at once. Yep, I got you. Okay. Okay, guys. Here we go. This goes up to the upstairs, I guess. They got the curved doorways. You know, beautiful home, beautiful home. I think he is living like at a little townhouse place right now, allegedly. Now, again, I don't know if this is how, I don't think this is how they had it decorated. I think this is probably how when they bought it or when it was being sold. Very sad, man. I don't know why people do this and think they're going to get away with it. I truly don't understand it. It's beyond me. Really is beyond me. Who did the slashing of the tires? So, John, the son, mentions this in the extended interview, and he said he was coming home from a class or something that he was taking. I think it was like welding or something like that, and he said, I think he was out of service in an area at the time, and he didn't answer the phone call. And Dr. Beallis, he alleges that Dr. Beallis got mad and said he wasn't going to take the truck anywhere else, and allegedly slashed his tires. And he said his mom joined in because he alleges that she just didn't want to fight with Dr. Beallis. So here is the tire slashing. And again, this is Dr. Randall Scott Beallis and his wife, Charity, disciplining her son for not returning a text as soon as they thought he should. Someone says they appear in court in the morning to decide custody of the 17-year-old and the two babies seen in the video. Please share this, as these two shouldn't be in charge of a pet, much less children. This was in 2020, by the way, this text. This video was in 2020. It is now nearly 2026, just an FYI. Here is Charity. Here's Dr. Beallis. Here is the twins that are now deceased. 3 of these individuals out of 4 in this picture are now dead.
Give me your phone. I'm shutting it off.
Here goes the next one. Yeah. What are you gonna do? Oh, being the parent, buddy.
My truck in my name.
Yep.
I paid for it.
Yep.
Give me that phone. Give me your phone. I'm shutting it off.
Here goes the next one. Yeah. What are you gonna do? Oh, being the parent, buddy.
My truck in my name.
Yep.
I paid for it.
Yep.
Give me that phone. Give me your phone. I'm shutting it off.
Here goes the next one.
That's Dr. Beallis here.
What are you gonna do?
In Charity.
Oh, being the parent, buddy.
My truck in my name.
Yep.
I paid for it.
Yep.
Give me that phone.
So there you have that. I wonder if this person put anything else out there. Lonnie Mitz. Oh, look at this update. This person obviously does not like them. This is from 2020 update. The loving mother and her doctor's husband, have been arrested and charged with felonies. A loving mother and a registered nurse. How you'd like her taking care of your children. Miss Charity Beallis, please share this. I mean, it's not her finest moment, but she was under DV, in my opinion. I haven't seen this.
Give me your phone. I'm shutting it off.
Here comes the next one. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
I wonder why he does not like them. People talking about rioting in small towns, y'all understand if half the town run on meth and the other half run on alcohol, blocks and juggins. I mean, if a crackhead Fred don't get you, Granny Moonshine finna light up your ass. We literally grew up in Wisha, motherfucker. Okay. In other news, I feel really bad. I don't care if someone, sometimes, you can be in a relationship and they taint your mind. They really taint your mind, and they will trigger you like nobody else. And that's just the truth. And regardless, it does seem like it was a very toxic relationship. But she's a mother, and they are children. And there's no excuse in why they are dead right now. Period. It's just the way it is. Period. There is nothing. And John said, her oldest son, the only surviving child, actually, him and his grandpa are the only two surviving family. But he said that Charity had, really gotten her life straightened out, that she had gotten baptized a few months prior. The context is that was in 2020. The son, John, he took that video when he was, I think it was like 18. He was young, and he hadn't gotten back soon enough to their liking, especially allegedly the doctor's liking, and he did it. They slashed their tires. So it is. It's toxic, but there's no excuse for murder. There's just not. No problem, my dear. Guys, thank you all so much for joining me. We are going to continue to follow this case and see wherever it leads. Hopefully with an arrest soon or then later. I apologize for the technical difficulties starting this live stream out and kind of going throughout this entire live stream on and off. So the deceased wife previously pulled out a pew-pew on the doctor. The deceased wife also knifed his son's tires. What the hell? So no, she did not pull out a pew-pew on him. Or maybe she did. You might be right on that, Alafade. There was one thing in her book, she said that she lied about and she regretted it. But anywho, I'll be back here in just a little bit. We're going to be covering Summer Moon Utah Wells case. So hopefully you will join us here in a little bit. In about an hour or so, I'll be back here. No, the husband who's the doctor's knife the tires. I saw the video. Yeah, and she did too. She did too. They were both arrested for it. Michelle. Yeah. Not her finest moment. Not her finest moment. Okay, that's what it is. Thank you, Lafade. In the book, she said she pulled a pew-pew on him and accused him of DV. Then said she lied about the DV, but not the pew-pew. Got it. Thank you for clearing that up. I appreciate that. I knew she said she lied about something in the book. I couldn't remember. A little behind, but as far as someone changing how you feel is exactly what happened to Katie and Chris. That's a good point. She was never a loving mother, but she changed against her son for Chris, in my opinion. I think that's well stated, Alicia, and I agree. I agree. Let me show you a photo real quick, guys, if you don't mind. Someone sent this to me, especially people in the Texas area. Sydney Marquez missing in the Houston area, particularly the Houston area. She's been missing since December 11, 2025. She's 24 years old. Again, Houston area, female, 5'4", 120 pounds, hair color red, brown, orange, and her eyes are brown. Last seen wearing a gray hoodie, beige shirt, gray pants, and white tennis shoes. If anyone's seen, please contact the Houston Police Department, 713-884-3131. You can also take a screenshot of this and clip it and share it in your social media as well. All right, guys. Yes, Mousy, getting ready to end it, my dear, but I'll be back here in a little bit. Good to see you, Rach. Just Rach, good to see you. They say there's a serial murder in Houston. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. All right, guys, I'll be back here in a little bit. Thank you all so much for joining me. God bless.